For centuries, most people have the notion that women are more emotional than men. This deeply ingrained stereotype has influenced our perceptions, interactions, and even career choices. However, it is time to challenge this misconception, as research and personal experiences have shown that emotions know no gender boundaries. In this video, let's dive into the reasons behind this stereotype, debunk its validity, and shed light on the true complexity of human emotions. First, emotions play a crucial role in human functioning, serving an adaptive purpose by providing us with information about ourselves and our surroundings. This complex psychological state is a universal aspect of human experience, transcending gender boundaries. Both women and men possess the capacity for emotional expression. Nevertheless, societal norms and expectations have unfairly labelled women as more emotional than men. Imagine, when a man shouts when his football club scores against its opponent, people say he is passionate. However, when a woman screams when she sees her favourite musician win a Grammy Award, people conclude she is too emotional. Likewise, social media platforms have also played a role in perpetuating this blatant misconception. The platforms showcase and magnify contents that portray women as overly emotional, irrational, and prone to dramatic reactions, while simultaneously depicting men as stoic, rational, and unemotional. Additionally, social media creates echo chambers where these stereotypes are continually reinforced through viral clips that attract likes, shares, and comments. As a result, they further ingrain the belief that women are inherently more emotional. In essence, this skewed representation perpetuates the harmful stereotype that women's emotions are more intense and less rational than men's. However, it's crucial to recognize that men also experience a spectrum of emotions and exhibit diverse responses. This fact, societal standards have covered up for men. To establish this, understanding the difference between emotional expression and response is crucial in explaining the misconception about women being more emotional than men. Emotional expression refers to the outward display of emotions, including verbal and non-verbal behaviors, such as crying, shouting, or gestures. On the other hand, emotional response pertains to the internal experience and processing of emotions, encompassing cognitive appraisal, physiological arousal, and subjective feelings. Contrary to this misconception, it's established that most people have misplaced emotional expression for emotional response. In reality, research suggests that men and women may differ in their emotional expression due to socialization and cultural expectations, rather than in their actual emotional responses. By recognizing this distinction, it becomes evident that women are not inherently more emotional than men, but rather may express emotions differently due to societal norms and expectations. Now, let's dive into the results from. Several studies validate that emotional expression and response are more individualized than gender stereotypes imply. Firstly, there have been studies that have looked at cognitive and neurological factors. A study in 2000 found that men exhibited heightened responses to scenes of violence and aggression in both the amygdala and the left occipital temporal cortex. Interestingly, the study noted that there was no significant difference in brain activation between genders when exposed to disgusting photos. Moreover, differences in brain structure may affect men and women in terms of function. For example, there are variations in the way the dendritic structure of the locus coeruleus is organized between the sexes. This results in females potentially having a greater capacity to receive and process emotional information from the limbic system compared to males. Furthermore, it's crucial to note that the size of the amygdala dictates the levels of fear, which appears stronger in girls than in boys. However, boys with reduced volume in the right anterior cingulate cortex display more aggressive and defiant behaviors. It's also important to note that besides structural differences, new studies have confirmed that men often have more intense emotional experiences. On the other hand, women tend to exhibit higher emotional expressivity, especially for negative emotions. In a nutshell, studies validate that there are no inherent differences in emotional responsiveness between men and women. Both men and women exhibit similar patterns of brain activation in response to emotional stimuli, debunking the notion of a gender-based emotional disparity. Additionally, cognitive research has demonstrated that men and women do not significantly differ in their ability to perceive, express, or regulate emotions. These findings underscore the importance of recognizing that emotional experiences are not dictated by gender, but rather by the intricate interplay of individual differences, societal influences, and personal experiences. Contrary to popular belief, studies have shown that men and women do not significantly differ in overall emotional responsiveness. From different findings, it's confirmed that both genders may not express emotions visibly, but their bodies do respond physiologically. Other studies exploring emotional intelligence have found no significant gender differences in the ability to understand, interpret, and manage emotions effectively. This suggests that any perceived disparities in emotional sensitivity may be more closely linked to societal norms and expectations rather than inherent biological differences between men and women. For example, society often accepts aggression in men but not in women, which keeps gender stereotypes alive. Another potential explanation is that men might exhibit stronger emotional reactions, yet due to self-presentation biases, they might tend to downplay their feelings compared to women. On the other hand, women are considered to possess a slighter understanding of emotions. In a nutshell, both men and women have natural tendencies to react to threats differently, but societal influences play a big part in shaping these reactions. Lastly, culture and stereotypes also play a role in how we deal with emotions. A study in 2000 validated that cultural and familial influences shape gender-specific emotional responses. In the context of aggression, girls are socialized to internalize aggressive reactions, leading to heightened cardiovascular responses to anger. In many societies, there are traditional gender norms and expectations that influence how boys and girls are taught to express their emotions. According to this study, girls are often socialized to internalize their aggressive reactions, meaning they are encouraged to suppress or restrain outward displays of aggression. Can you imagine that? Plus, this socialization process may involve teachings from family members, peers, and broader cultural influences. As a result, when girls experience anger or aggression, they tend to manifest their reactions internally rather than externally. For instance, it is not expected of a cultured lady to yell back at her husband in arguments in some parts of Asian and African countries. Instead, she admits she is wrong even when she is right and keeps quiet. Likewise, a man shouldn't raise his hand to beat a woman in public because people regard him as a gentleman. With these two illustrations, attributing heightened emotionality solely to women only perpetuates harmful stereotypes. The fact is, men, like women, experience and express emotions deeply, but different cultural values have covered them up from openly displaying vulnerability. Exposing the stereotype of women's heightened emotional sensitivity has significant implications for wider societal implications. First, it will allow for personal freedom and well-being, as individuals can embrace and process their emotions without feeling constrained by societal expectations. Also, it will help create a more inclusive understanding of gender roles and behaviors, allowing individuals to express their emotions authentically. For example, it could open up the possibility for men to show emotions when they feel like they need to. More importantly, it will tackle the pervasive idea that women are over-emotional. This, in turn, can curb the devaluation of women and positively impact women's career progression. So what have we learned? Picture this scenario. A woman named Emily and a man named Alex both received praise for their work. While Alex might suppress his emotions due to societal expectations, Emily might express her happiness more openly, not because she inherently feels emotions more intensely, but because she's been conditioned to believe that it's acceptable for women to display emotions freely. In reality, both Emily and Alex experience a similar range and depth of emotions. It's just that societal norms often dictate how they express them. And the fact is, when it comes to spotting emotions, research says there's not much difference between men and women. But here's the twist. Men often feel less sure about their emotional smarts. they're more likely to pick up on emotions that aren't there. In general, women tend to be more expressive emotionally, while men often conceal or control their emotional displays. The female gender can express their emotions through facial expressions and interpersonal communication, whereas men often manifest emotions through actions. Thanks for watching, and remember to embrace your emotions. They're what make you uniquely you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more thought-provoking content, and check out some literature in the description. Until next time, take care. Next time.